Buddha's teachings. When you can't overcome it, listen to this passage. In the long journey of life, we are constantly searching for the meaning of peace, true love, and the art of letting go to free ourselves from invisible ties. But perhaps, to truly understand these things, we need a guide, a master who can help us open our hearts and see our true essence. Today, join me in listening to the profound teachings of a wise master, words that not only help us learn to let go, but also illuminate the path to finding true peace in our lives. The disciple asked, "Master, what happens to those who have overcome pain?" The master replied thoughtfully, "When a person has weathered the storms of life, they are no longer the same as they once were. They no longer long to be with those they love, nor do they crave fine food or seek out meaningful work. Instead, they choose to live with peace as the foundation of their life." The disciple pondered this and asked, "Then is peace a scar?" The master answered with a knowing look, "Peace is like an iron mask. Beneath that icy exterior lies scarred flesh. When a person lives, they only need to care about inner comfort and tranquility. Everything else becomes unimportant. The hustle and noise of life no longer fill them with admiration, but rather with pity." The disciple continued, "Master, in matters of love, if one person loves more than the other, what does that feel like?" The master smiled gently. "Perhaps it's when every cold word spoken is your own, every silent tear shed is yours. You're the one who wants to walk away first, and in the end, you're the one who looks back the most." The disciple sighed and asked, "Is it possible that he feels sadness too, but just doesn't know how to express it?" The master responded with calm wisdom, "Don't think that just because you can't let go of someone, they can't let go of you. A fish without water will die, but water without fish becomes clearer. Know that the person who leaves you fears many things, but losing you is not one of them. If that's the case, wish them peace and happiness, and part ways so that each may find their own calm." The disciple listened, feeling a weight lift. He continued, "Now, I no longer want to waste words teaching others how to treat me well. If they can't feel it, it's as if it isn't real. When I have to consider if something is worthwhile, perhaps it isn't. If I don't rely on you materially, emotionally, or spiritually, yet you still don't bring me joy, then your presence has no meaning." The master nodded, saying, "Resolutely ending insincere relationships is not wrong. Let go of the days spent worrying about gains and losses. Return to yourself. Eat on time, go to bed early, and let go of needless thoughts. Having friends is nice, but if not, that's also fine. You are inherently confident, you just haven't yet found the right time to shine." The master continued, "Don't argue with others, it's not worth it. Don't struggle with yourself, it only causes harm. Don't dwell on the past, it cannot return. Life is simply about working with dedication, treating others sincerely, losing lightly, and achieving with dignity. Allow everything to unfold naturally, that is the best path." The disciple thought deeply and then asked, "Master, I always think it's feelings that cause me pain, but what truly hurts me?" The master explained, "Another's betrayal cannot hurt you. What truly hurts you is your own attachment. A fleeting feeling doesn't cause pain, your inability to let go does. You may think it's love that makes you suffer, but in truth, it is you who hurt yourself." The disciple asked, "Master, you once said that loving someone doesn't mean you must become lovers. Is that true?" The master replied, "Indeed. Sometimes just being friends is enough. Friendship can last longer, while love, when it fades, rarely returns to friendship." The master continued, "In this life, the most important things are not wealth or material possessions, but having people who treat you well, having sincere friends, and a partner who won't abandon you. To live in warmth, free from loneliness, to live peacefully and safely, that is what matters most." The master went on to say, "As we grow, the fewer acquaintances we have, the better. Don't force yourself to fit into circles that don't suit you, and don't argue with people who are not on the same path. Things you cannot have aren't worth chasing, and what makes you uncomfortable isn't worth your concern. It is better to shine brightly in your own world than to fade away in someone else's." The master advised, "In this world, there are always those who, under the guise of concern, meddle in your life, discuss your private matters, and probe your relationships. They dislike you when you have, mock you when you lack, scorn you when you're poor, and fear you when you're rich. Since pleasing the world is difficult, it's best to live happily in your own way. The disciple continued to listen, and the master went on. Two people should be together to lean on each other, to love and be loved, not to harbor grievances, to cry into pillows, or to spend sleepless nights wondering if the other person is worthy of you. Being together means encouraging and supporting each other as you face the world, not losing your love for life. The master paused, gazing into the disciple's eyes. When entering a relationship, first ask yourself if you truly like that person. But after some time together, ask if you like who you've become when you're with them. If being with them makes you irritable, negative, bitter, and often brings you to tears, so much so that you barely recognize yourself, then it's time to leave. The master continued, when approaching someone, take your time to avoid misunderstanding their true nature. But when distancing yourself, act quickly so that you do not linger. The master shared, everyone must pay the price for their understanding of life. If you haven't yet awakened, others cannot enlighten you. But once you awaken, no one needs to save you. The disciple nodded, deeply contemplative. The master continued, in the world of adults, they select rather than educate. They choose rather than try to change others. Remember, nothing lasts forever. Even the closest relationships may gradually grow distant, and the deepest feelings can fade over time. The master looked at the disciple and said, many people change not because they want to, but because they must. Everyone has struggles that others don't know about. No matter how strong a relationship is, do not let money come between you. When money is involved, everything becomes tainted. The master concluded, one day, after you've experienced the callousness of society, the pressures of money, the bitterness of love, and the darkness of human nature, you will understand that no hurtful words from others matter as much as knowing how to protect yourself. The disciple nodded, feeling a newfound peace. The master looked deeply into his eyes and gently advised, do not waste time on those who look down on you, nor look down on those who have spent time with you. Don't forgive those who repeatedly harm you, nor betray those who have forgiven you. Don't let those who aren't by your side sway your heart. The master continued, in love, it's not about finding the best person, but finding the one who is good to you. Hopefully they come to you because they cherish, love, and care for you, not because you endured or sacrificed. The master concluded, even if life brings you unpleasant experiences, do not let them turn your life dark. Fate's only job is to shuffle the cards. How you play is up to you. Only when you refuse to yield will fate make way for you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to these profound teachings. If you felt peace and value in each story, please hit subscribe to continue exploring meaningful lessons for the soul. Every share from you is also a gift, spreading tranquility to those who may need it. Let's journey together, where each word becomes a light guiding us toward happiness and inner peace.